I'm Damien Woolnough from ELLE, here with Philo from streetpeeper.com, ELLE's special guest editor for Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Australia. So how many times to Australia have you been for Fashion Week?
I've actually lost count by now, maybe 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They go with it, they all merge into one. Have you noticed a change in street style in that time?
Well, I think when I first started, I think I may have been the only photographer, maybe one or two others. And I think as street style has grown, the first couple years of that phenomenon, I think some of the showgoers went a little over the top. Maybe that's their expectation of what they should be doing for the cameras. But I think now that they've grown accustomed with it, they sort of reverted back to their natural style. Even if it's a little if they dress a little crazy normally, they toned it down a little bit. If they dress really chic and casual, that's what they've returned to. And I think it's better overall.
And is there anything else that differentiates Australians in the street style stakes?
I always say that Australian models are my absolute favorite. They sort of have this really cool, self-assured sense of style. It's like they're actual real people, some Bondi Beach babes instead of 17-year-olds plucked from a province in China or the Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got personality.
Yeah, they have their own style. They listen to music. They are into film. They're well-rounded individuals.
So this season, are there any particular trends or anything that's really standing out and catching your eye?
Ellery flares. I don't think I've seen as many enormous sleeves and trousers as this week in Sydney. I think it's fun. It's fantastic. I think like some of the neon and crazy colors have been toned down a bit this year. But overall those have been sort of the two things I've noticed. It's only day 2, but we'll see for the rest of the week.
And apart from the flares, are you seeing any sort of other 70s vibes coming through?
Oh yeah. Tanya Gotchik, you know her, the model blogger. She's looked like an amazing 70s Coke babe. Like a Studio 54 goddess. She's been amazing. Yeah, definitely in that 70s vibe.
And how would you describe your own personal style? Because you're a very eye-catching, very dashing man with a lens.
Eye-catching, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I mean, I know I dress a little kooky. I do love color. I love prints. I love patterns. And I know it could be difficult to do, and I don't even think I do it right all the time. But, it's like my personality, I'm sort of like a really easygoing, and I think it matches my personality. I try, if I try wearing a suit, it just doesn't quite look right on me, like gentleman style, not for me. Or all black Victorian health goth, doesn't really work for me.
So 6, 7, 8 times here in Australia. By now you're very familiar with Australian designers. You've mentioned Ellery. Are there any other designers that you keep a close eye on?
Oh, well, I've definitely noticed Matuszewski, which is the show we just left. I just think it's, incredible. And, people at Australia Fashion Week always want to compare themselves to, Paris or Milan. And I think Matuszewski is definitely one of the key shows here that stand out not only here, but would definitely be standouts in the international Fashion Week circuit. And aside from that, I always loved like the fun brands like Romance Was Born, Emma Mulholland, who's not showing this week, but who I really love. Tome is great. I didn't even know they were Australian until this week, because they've been on the New York schedule for a few seasons. Yeah, I think those are some of my favorites. Yeah.
Fantastic. Phil, thank you so much for being ELLE's Eye on the Street this week. And we hope to see you for the 9th time next year.